Dennis Rodman held a press conference where he talked about his experience in North Korea. As some of you may already know, he was in North Korea to meet with Kim Jong-Un, and he was there with Vice. They were working on a documentary there. And he seems very, very positive about North Korea and the way it's being led. Let's take a look at the first video.
I just wish that all other people in the government and our country will understand the fact that this is not something that's going to interfere with our lives or anyone's lives in the world. It's about trying to brand and bridge a gap to a country that people say is so bad. This country is not bad because the marshal now, he wants to change, and I'm there. He wants to change. And the one thing, and what we hear and what we see in America, is once most of you people are here, don't see that over there. You write what you hear, but you don't see what you write. If you meet the marshal over there, he's a very good guy. And that's very serious. He has to do his job, but he's a very good guy. And the one thing, he gave me the rights and everything about doing one thing. He said, Dennis, I want you to go over to America and say, guess what? We want people to come over here because we're not a bad country.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman is significantly stupid. And he's actually doing significant damage here, but he's too dumb to realize it. Like, the marshal is not a good guy. The marshal. The marshal?
He's such a good guy that he possibly murdered an entire orchestra and his ex-girlfriend through a firing squad.
Now, this is a story we reported on yesterday. It's from a Chinese source, okay? And there was also the story of the guy who didn't sufficiently cry during his father's funeral, and they literally dropped a bomb on him. They had him sit on a spot, and they dropped a bomb on him so that he would disintegrate, okay? But the marshal's a good guy, and you don't see what you write. Well, Dennis, we don't see it because they won't let us into the country. They won't let any reporting happen. Instead, they bring a knucklehead like you in, and you do exactly what you're supposed to do as propaganda for them. Talk about what a lovely guy he is and how misunderstood he is. Nobody thinks the country's bad. We feel sick for the people of North Korea. We want to help those people. The person who's keeping them down is the guy who puts them in concentration camps. That's your buddy, the marshal, Kim Jong-Un. So Rodman doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And I don't know why they keep going back in. I mean, I think it's wrong, to be honest with you. I know people love the documentaries, and for good reason, I get it, but people aren't seeing the documentaries. They're seeing Rodman, and Rodman going out there, taking smiling pictures with him, talking about doing basketball, tournaments with the marshal, and what a lovely guy he is, and holding up his baby. It's a terrible idea.
I partially agree with you. I agree that Dennis Rodman isn't a critical thinker, and he's not really...
That is like the most polite, wonderful, PC thing I've ever seen. He's not a critical thinker. Okay.
And I understand that he's probably not fully educated on what really goes on in North Korea, so it's very easy for a dictator to utilize him as a propaganda machine in the country. With that being said, if he's going in there with a certain news organization, if he's going in there with Vice, it's up to Vice to make sure that their reporting is accurate, right? So
no, I don't have any problem with Vice's reporting.
No, I don't either. I mean, I don't either. I haven't seen the documentary yet, so I can't judge. And let me just put that on the table.
And he just came back from the second trip.
Exactly. But I do want to note that it is important for us to go into North Korea. It is important for us to have some level of transparency, even if it means that we have to go in there pretending as if we think they're good people.
Yeah, but I don't think Rodman's pretending. I mean, maybe he's got pulling one on all of us. Pulling one over, but I don't get that sense. And look, some people see the documentary. Most people see Rodman being like, what a swell guy this is.
Really? People think Rodman is credible? And let me just note, I don't think that Rodman is lying to us. I think that he genuinely does think that Kim Jong-Un is a good guy, whatever. But if we have to use a moron as a vehicle to get into that country and learn more about it, then I'm all for that.
I know, but there's a trade-off here. All right, let's hear more from Rodman and see what the other things this genius has to say.
We got Obama doing one thing right now. I'm sorry, Obama, you're going to read this and do one thing, do this crap. Guess what? Now, Syria, really? I'm being honest. Guess what? And this guy just want to do one thing. Let's have a conversation with you. That's it. So why, Obama, are you afraid to talk to Dennis Rodman? You're not afraid to talk to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Why not me? What about me? I'm pretty important now, right? Let's go there, Obama. Talk to me. I'm right here. Do one thing. I got the inside track of what you want to do. This is 1953. This is 2013. There's a new era.
There's not a new era in North Korea. Unfortunately, North Korea is stuck in 1953, exactly as it was before. And look, I'm all for diplomacy. I think we should be talking to Kim Jong-Un. I think we should talk him to death, maybe literally, okay? And we should go in there and we should send every emissary if we can, etc. I don't believe in the nonsense, Dick Cheney, you don't talk to evil stuff, right? But you're not our diplomat, Rodman. Nobody selected you to be our diplomat. And the president doesn't have a responsibility to talk to you. And notice what he said, I'm important. Okay,
I know.
So this is all about Rodman's ego again. Meanwhile, he's got Paddy Power on his head. That's a gambling website. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's doing this with the best of intentions as he cashes in through a sponsorship, etc. Now this is wrong in 128 different ways. In fact, I'm not sure any of it helps at all. Let's hear more from this genius.
You refer, and excuse my language, when asked about Kenneth Bay and his release, your comment was, guess what? Ask Obama, ask that Obama, ask Hillary Clinton, ask those assholes.
Absolutely, I would say that very easy. And I'll say it direct. Guess what, though? Obama, what are you afraid of? Come talk to me. Guess what? It's amazing. You could talk to all these entertainers around the world. You can do one thing. You could do that Martin Luther King thing. Guess what? I'm doing some groundbreaking things. Come talk to me. I've seen things. I know things that you want to know. Talk to me, and guess what? Obama, I don't hate your guts. Hillary, I love you. Bill Clinton, I love you. Guess what? Come talk to me. I know things.
What do you know? Look, so Bill Clinton went to North Korea to get somebody that they were detaining that used to work at current television Vanguard series. They were doing a real documentary there, not with the permission of the government, okay? And Bill Clinton went, and it was uncomfortable, and we felt like conflicted about it, etc. But he did a job. He went and got that person released, okay? That's what he's supposed to do. That's a diplomatic mission. Jesse Jackson once got our hostages released from the Middle East. Okay, that's a diplomatic mission. This is a Dennis Rodman, I'm so important mission. And I think anybody who enables it, I think is going in the wrong direction, whether it's Paddy Power. Look, Vice has done some great work. They really have. And we talk about Vice's great work all the time, and they've done great work within North Korea. But in this case, I don't know, man. I would stop sending this jackass who's making a fool of himself, and I think overall hurting. Because look, yes, we don't. You're right, Anna. Of course, we don't take Dennis Rodman seriously. A lot of people in this country don't take him seriously. But you know, there's a lot of people in the world who don't trust America for very good reason. And so when they hear Rodman speaking like that, they're like, you see that? See, the Americans are the bad guys again. And here's an American that we know. We saw him, because everybody watches the NBA, that we saw him in the championship with the Lakers and the Bulls. Here's a guy that's a celebrity, and he's saying the marshal is a good guy.